Welcome to Fin Business. We are in conversation with Sanjay Sharma from RBL. Sir, thank you very much for talking to us. I would like to learn, sir, going ahead. Now the traditional banking is gone, the digital banking is here. Going ahead, what changes do you see in your bank specifically because you have adopted fintech? So what changes do you see if I ask 1 year, 3 year, and 5 year? If you look at that short-term, mid-term goal.
Right. So I think eventually it is, can you become digital only bank? Okay. Or can you become an organization which is based on the DNA of digital first, right? So anything, any services which you are launching, any product which you are trying to create, any services which you are thinking about, can it be first thought about rendering on a digital platform and then think about all other channels and delivery mechanism. So going forward, how you can act like a fintech would be a very important factor. So today we are saying that we are like a Amazon in making for banking industry, right? So we are providing banking as service. Can I further break this up into microservices and create industry specific services, right? So if I go into say pharma industry, I should be able to go with a special pack saying, okay, this is your financial services pack for pharma industry, come and bank with us, right? So how do you create those industry specific solutions which are digitally enabled? I think, and so the bank will become a platform as going forward, and all these services would be industry specific services would be available from the bank. So I think the 2020 would be a very different bank. It should be a digital first bank. The revenue should come from digital channels. It should use the APIs, open banking, maybe blockchain, all these technologies to use machine learning, AI. I think this will really change the way you interact with the customer. The bots will become the norm for communication and so on. So I think it will be purely a digital world in 2020.
Okay, and how do you see the growth of fintech by 2020? Because there are some reports which says that by 2020 fintechs will be perhaps as big as bank. Do you buy that story?
So I think it's not that all the fintechs would really become as big as bank, because I think both have a very different space. They operate in a very different space. It's unfair to compare a fintech with a bank and vice versa, because it's not completely possible for a bank to turn its DNA into a fintech, and because it has a primary job to do. Similarly, a fintech cannot really do everything what bank can do, right? So I think from the market capitalization perspective, some fintechs could become big, their reach could become bigger, their customer base may become bigger, but I think primarily the reach and the product depth which banks have, I don't think the fintechs will be able to really compete in that space. If you really see, fintechs are picking up one problem, right, and trying to solve that, while banks are giving services across, whether it is retail, corporate, within retail it is deposit, assets, cards, debit card, credit card, and so on. While fintechs are very, very specialized and focusing on solving one problem at a time. So I think the two operate in very different space.
Okay, all that on that note, thank you so much for talking to Fin Business.